Right.
So I'll respond saying.
Okay, all good to go? Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, morning, good morning. Yeah, good morning. My name is David Steinberg, hearing officer for San Francisco Public Works. Nathan Rodas is clerk of this hearing. This hearing is being recorded via Zoom and will be available afterwards through a link on the San Francisco Public Works website, sfpublicworks.org. As this is a virtual hearing, there's no sign-in sheet, so if you would like to receive information about the results of this hearing, please send an email to the email address listed on the hearing notice. Okay, so this hearing is being held to consider one item, to consider the validity of notices to repair that have been issued to various property owners and utility agencies for the restoration of public right-of-way sidewalks as part of the city's sidewalk inspection and repair program, SIRP. Inspectors from San Francisco Public Works have conducted inspections on blocks in the Visitation Valley. So my job as a hearing officer is to gather the facts for the hearing item, listen to your testimonies, and help our Director of Public Works make determinations. I'll not be making any decisions today. Instead, I will forward the findings from this hearing and make my recommendations to the Director. The Director will make the final determinations. When the Director's determinations are made, the department will notify you of them if you have provided contact information. The hearing will provide as follows for the cases. I will ask Public Works staff to speak first and present the case. There's no time limit for this presentation. Then I will allow any member of the public or witnesses who want to speak. Each speaker will have up to 3 minutes to speak. Clerk will monitor the time for all speakers and will indicate when the speaker has 30 seconds left. If you are a member of the public or witness who wants to speak, wait for me to call for public comments, then use the Zoom raise your hand feature if you're on a computer to put yourself in the queue to speak. If you're dialing in from your phone, dial *9 to indicate that you're raising your hand. When it's your turn to speak, I will recognize you. If on your phone and you're muted, press *6 to unmute yourself. If you would like to use visual materials in your presentation, please let me know before you speak. You will then have the standard 3 minutes to provide your comments. Comments and questions should be addressed to me and not to the department or the applicant. If you cannot finish your comments within the allotted time, you may submit written testimony to me by the end of this hearing. If I feel that a question is warranted, I will ask the question. After all comments are completed, I will close this item. Okay, we'll now begin the hearing. At this time, we'll open the hearing to public comments. Members of the public may make comments on matters that are within the department's jurisdiction, but not on today's agenda. Are there any public comments at this time? I don't see anything. Nathan, no one's raising their hand?
Nope.
Okay, then this item is closed. So the first and only item on today's agenda remaining is order number 211433. May I have Public Works make its presentation?
Good morning, hearing officer. My name is Woo-Ju Chung. I am a street inspection supervisor with Public Works, the Code Enforcement Division. I am here to present on behalf of order number 211433, SIRP phase 159 in the Elliott neighborhood. Public Works Code section 706 states that it shall be the duty of the property owners to maintain the sidewalk and sidewalk area fronting or adjacent to their property in good repair and condition. That said, this public hearing is considered the validity of notices to repair that have been issued to various property owners for the restoration of the sidewalks in the public right-of-way. The sidewalk inspection and repair program was enacted by the city in 2007 to improve the pedestrian path of travel by inspecting and notifying property owners of defects requiring repair under city and state codes. Property owners are responsible to maintain the sidewalks fronting their properties. This program differs from past inspection programs by providing funding for the city to allow property owners the option to have the city repair the sidewalks for them and to invoice them upon completion of the work. part of the SERP process is to hold public hearings for property owners to express their concerns as to the validity of the required sidewalk repairs. Today's hearing is for property owners who have received sidewalk repair notifications in the SERP 159 in the Visitation Valley neighborhood, bordered by Tioga Avenue and Campbell on the north, Rutland Street on the east, Leland Avenue on the south, and Visitation Avenue on the west. Letters for this area were mailed out on February 25th, 2025. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any members of the public who wish to make comments? Please raise your hand in the app or indicate on your phone.
Hello. This is my first time. I don't know like what the hearing structure looks like. I'm a homeowner at 550 Leland, and I received a sidewalk repairs notice on February 25th. I just have a few questions about like dates of actions to act.
Yeah,
And
good morning, sir. Do you mind just stating your name for the record, please?
sure. My name is Rocky Chong, Rockie. Last name is Chong, ONG. And then
Thank you.
I'm
Go ahead.
at 550 Leland Avenue in Visitation Valley in San Francisco, California. And I received a notice to repair 1269811. And I believe I received the option agreement on February 25th. And I believe I have about 30 days to act. I don't know if it is a good avenue to ask general questions like this, or is this something that I should defer to the inspector on the notice, right? Because I have like a few general questions that I think it might benefit others who are in the neighborhood. Like I think, for example, things like I think there's like a repair option for sidewalk landscaping, right? That's first. And the second question is more around if it's like a minor repair, do I need the permitting aspect of things? So I don't know if it's a good avenue for you guys to explain it, or is it something that, I should wait until like, like have a more private conversation outside of the hearing.
Well, you can always contact the number that's on the notice. But if I'm happy to allow you, if you have a couple questions, to raise them now, and then I can have the department representatives answer them, because as you said, might benefit others as well. So
Cool.
why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, so I think the first one is that there are, like I received a notice saying like a couple of conditions identified below must be repaired. One of the defected holes or cracks a little bit more than 0.5 inches. The other is damaged uneven missing curb with a parentheses of 9. It indicates the location as well, where I am, Han, Leland Avenue, Han Street to end. But then the defect itself doesn't have an asterisk. So my first question there is, if it doesn't have an asterisk right next to the defect, does that mean that that's a repair that I can do on my own or with my contractor without having to get a permit? Yeah, that's the first question.
Okay, Wushu, do you want to take that?
Sure, absolutely. We would have to look, and so I would generally say, and for for the rest of the attendees, if you have these specific questions on how to best move forward with these repairs, I would contact the individual inspector on the notice. They can assist you with this. But to answer your question, Rocky, it really does depend. I mean, if the defects are very minor and what we consider patchable, like which is fine, and what we're ultimately looking for is to make sure the pedestrian path of travel is made safe. Patching in itself does not require a permit. You can do that over a weekend. You don't need a permit for that. Do please keep in mind that patching using a concrete patch is inherently temporary, but should you make the defects safe, it will be satisfactory on our part to go ahead and close the notice. But it does depend on the individual site or the defects. Some sidewalk areas may be so defective or so broken up that patching is not wouldn't be appropriate. that is the discretion of the individual inspector, and we do document and take photos of each of the sites. So I would definitely start that conversation with the individual inspector on the notice. And if they seek any clarification, they can always come to me.
Got it. And then if I have difficulty, I think reaching out to my inspector, do you think it's a good idea to come by the Van Ness location just to kind of maybe talk with inspector on site there, or like, yeah, because like, or maybe send an email to my inspector, maybe expecting a response, things like that, right? Because my inspector, and maybe I'll leave that detail out, right? But just in general, right? If like,
Absolutely.
if it's like a phone number, I can't reach him by phone, is it okay to kind of send him email or even come by the public works just to get some clarification?
Absolutely. So our inspectors, again, I do put it on them to make sure that they respond or, return correspondence within 48 hours. With that said, if you're not getting a response, or they may be out sick or out of the office, I think I left my phone number, my direct phone number and my email on the chat. I think I might have just left it to you, Rocky, but I can put it on the chat for everybody. Should you have a hard time reaching anybody, please feel to reach out to me. Yes, and always 49 South Van Ness, it is a public office. You are more than welcome to stop by. You would need to go through the front desk and basically, ask to see or make an appointment. But I would suggest reaching out via phone call to me or shoot me an email, and I can get back to you rather quickly and answer any questions you may have.
Got it.
Thanks.
And then,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, I just have a few more administrative questions there. I think one is surrounding the date of the notice. I think I received the date I received it is on February 25th, but like obviously on the first inspection date is more like in January, within 30 days. I just wonder if I still have enough time to do it on my own, based on the option agreement date. Like I think I received the letter more or less like early March or end of February. So I just wonder if I still have enough time to respond, because I know I have only 30 days to, if I opt to do the repairs on my own.
Sure, absolutely. If you need more time than 30 days, just feel free to reach out to the individual inspector and ask for an extension. What that is something is the biggest thing for us is to just make sure that as the property owner, you are communicating with us as Public Works on any status, or if you need more additional time, either it be to find a private contractor or to do the patching. And providing more time is not an issue for us, but just do keep in mind, again, this goes for everybody, that ultimately the property owner is liable for any defects fronting their property, any sidewalk defects fronting their property.
Okay. One final question for sidewalk landscaping. Is this something that, let's say, if I want to make it more beautiful, if I want to do additional things beyond what you guys ask me to do, essentially, right? Do I need a permit to do it, or can I kind of have it be kind of wrapped around like this sidewalk repair and then have it as a tag-on item? I mean, I would love to do more, but there's cost with, like, for example, obtaining an additional permit, things like that, right? So I just want to see if like do I need permits to do, like, for example, plant a tree or something like that?
So that's a great question. As Public Works, we definitely encourage more greening in the public right of way. To answer your question, yes, you do need to have. There are additional permits that are required. If you want to plant a tree, there is a street tree planting permit, which is a free permit. But there's a separate permit for sidewalk landscaping. It's just called the sidewalk landscaping permit, which is issued by our Bureau of Urban Forestry. That would need to be approved. I know in the packet or notice that we sent you, there are all sorts of options. There is a technicality into how to best implement that, and not to kind of take everybody's time. But Rocky, that is something that we can kind of talk offline, and I can give you a little bit more information on after the hearing.
Sounds good. That's all I have. Thank you so much for letting me take advantage of this to address the questions. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, and thank you, Wuju, for for answering the questions. Is there anyone else who is interested in speaking? And again, this hearing is to determine the validity of the notices that Public Works sent out. And generally, if you have other specific questions, as we just said, you should contact the inspector and the number and the contact information on the notice. But if there's anyone else who is interested in speaking, go ahead and raise your hand or indicate by using your phone. And I don't see anyone at this moment. So if there are no more public comments, I will close this item. As this was the only item on the hearing, I will now close the hearing. So this hearing is closed. I appreciate everyone's time and your comments. And I will send a recommendation to the director who will issue a determination. So thank you very much. This hearing is now closed.